Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam356. As you may remember, Rukmini was very relieved when she found out that Krishna had made it to Vidarbha. News reached Bhishmaka that Krishna and Rama had arrived in the city. He thought that they had come to join the wedding celebration. He went to them and offered milk and honey, costly gems, and clothes. In his mind, he had chosen Krishna as the groom, and he was not happy at the thought that someone else had taken his place. He honored Krishna as he would his son-to-be. He led them to a very grand apartment and requested them to honor him by attending the wedding. Krishna smiled and said, "Have no fear, I have come just for that, the wedding of your daughter." Balarama looked serious, and the two brothers stayed together long after the old king had left them. The citizens heard that Krishna had come to their city with Rama, and they rushed to the palace where they were staying to have a look at them. They told themselves, "Krishna is the man who should have married our Rukmini. See how well they are suited to each other. If at all we have obtained any punya in our previous births and in this one, we will offer it all up as the price, if this Krishna will be made to marry Rukmini by the gods." So they spoke, but it was all in whispers. They did not dare express their feelings, since Rukmi was not fond of Krishna, and he would punish them if he heard them. 224. The princess walks to the temple. The hallowed moment had come when the princess had to come out of her apartments to proceed to the temple of Parvati. On all sides, she was heavily guarded by soldiers with drawn swords, and Rukmini walked with halting steps. With her went her mother and her companions and the royal guard. Her mind fixed on Krishna, her eyes half closed, Rukmini walked as though in a trance. It was a long procession, and the women carried the auspicious materials for the worship of the Devi. There was music and there was chanting of the Vedas, and the princess reached the temple. She washed her feet and her hands and her eyes. Old Brahmin Suvasinis took her by the hand and led her to the shrine of Parvati. Rukmini prayed, "Mother, I salute you again and again." Her silent prayer was, "Mother mine, please make Krishna my Lord. I have but one desire, and you must grant me that. Make me Krishna's." She then worshipped the Devi and performed the puja as was directed by the older women. She received the prasad from them after falling at their feet. Her vow of silence had been broken by her prayer, and with her jeweled fingers holding on to the arm of her companion, she emerged out of the temple. All the princes who had assembled there for the wedding saw her and her immense charm. Her waist was so small it could not be seen, but for the band of gold which encircled it. The gems set in it pulled the eyes of the beholder to her waist and made them gasp in admiration. With her earrings moving in the breeze, with her eyes like those of a deer, with her smile bright like moonlight, with the gait of a swan, she walked slowly, and those who saw her were faint with too much beauty. Some of them actually did faint. Rukmini knew that Krishna was somewhere there and that he would take her away from there. A faint smile hovered on her red lips, and there was eagerness in her steps. And yet she did not dare to walk fast. It was not done. And again, once she had covered the distance between the temple and the palace, her chance of staying out in the open would be gone forever. But her eagerness to see Krishna was overwhelming. In the breeze, her dark curls tended to flutter around her face. With her left hand, she pushed them away under the pretext she raised her eyes from the ground and looked around furtively for a sight of her Lord. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.